Good day to everyone. Now we will discuss about virtue ethics. These are the references that we will be using, namely Articulo, Babor, Castillo, Montemayor, and Mabacquiao. This ethical theory, virtue ethics, was first given a systematic explanation by Aristotle. Aristotle first notes that the ultimate end or goal of human is to be happy or to flourish, which he named this as eudaimonia. From Greek word eu means good, daimon means soul, so the good soul is to be happy. And happiness is achieved through virtue. And he defines virtue as an excellence of a thing in terms of the exercise of its proper functions. For instance, the excellence of a guitar is its good sound when played, which is its proper function. The proper function of knife is to cut. Mango tree is to bear mango fruit. For humanity, Aristotle considers their capacities of reason and will as their proper functions. Consequently, the excellence of reason requires intellectual virtues, while that of the will requires practical or moral virtues. Intellectual virtues are acquired through study or instruction and are manifested through knowledge, while moral virtues are acquired through practice and habit and are manifested through practical actions. Moral virtues are more specifically character traits which would enable us to live a happy or flourishing life. But how then do we identify the moral virtues or the good character traits? Aristotle provides a guiding principle known as the principle of the golden mean. Golden mean, according to this principle, is the good character trait that lies in between two extreme traits relevant to the situation. One is an excessive form, the other the deficient form. Golden mean is the balance between two extremes. For instance, with regard to confidence, the mean is courage, because the excess is rash and the deficiency is cowardice. This makes courage as the good character trait in facing situations that would require the feeling of confidence. Other examples are as follows. Regarding giving and taking money, the mean is liberality, the excess is prodigality, and the deficiency is meanness. And with regard to honor, the mean is proper pride, the excess is empty vanity, and the deficiency is undue humility. Therefore, those virtues are the mean, like the courage, liberality, pride, and those excess are what we call as vice. Three things must be noted with regard to the principle of the golden mean. First, there is no mean for an excess or a deficiency. For instance, there's no mean for greed, which is an excess, or for cowardice, which is a deficiency. Second, the mean is not absolute in that it is relative to an individual and circumstance. For instance, what is courageous may vary from one person to another, from one circumstance to another. Third, the principle of the mean is intended solely to serve as a guide for determining the appropriate character trait in a given situation. This means that it will not be accurate to extend it to the other forms of human endeavor, such as in the areas of sports, academics, and others, which may have different standards for an excellent performance. Again, for virtue ethics, an action done by a virtuous person is good, while an action done by a vicious person is bad. This description, however, needs qualification in light of the possibility that a virtuous person can also perform a morally wrong action, and a vicious person can also perform a morally correct action. This possibility arises because a virtuous or a vicious person may or may not act in character. That is to say, when a person known to be virtuous performs a morally wrong action, this means that this person acts out of his character of being a virtuous person. The same is true of a person known to be vicious person, but performs an action that is morally right. And so, when we say that action is morally good, if its agent is virtuous or has good character traits, we assume that this person is acting in character. There are still many things to discuss about this topic, and we barely scratched the surface. Anyhow, we already have a handful of lessons that we have learned. So, this is it for today, and thank you for listening.